Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be playing some more Nature Incarnate. I'm going to be playing as Wounded Waters Bleeding against Prussia level 6. So this will be an interesting matchup because Wounded Waters Bleeding starts a bit on the weak side. However, it gets a lot stronger when it gets its healing cards online, which will give it new special rules, replace one of its innates, and make it so that it stops having to destroy or lose power cards every turn. So essentially, during the game, I'm going to be picking up these healing markers after I play my cards for the spirit phase, and I can make it very flexible with what I get to choose because I get to break ties and I get to choose whichever I have more of, water or animal. Thanks to the first presence space giving me a water or animal every single turn, I can delay getting that or get it to tip the balance. So it shouldn't be too hard to grow in the way I want. But anyways, let's get started. First explore is mountains and wetlands. So this is really nice. We have 3 lands that are just almost empty. It's good that we didn't get jungles, because that would have been really nasty to start off with. So a bit of a problem here is that my right innate dealing 1 damage to hopefully kill off an explorer is improbable to go off right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use Boon of Corrupted Blood. You also start with 4 energy, of course. Boon of Corrupted Blood, and I'm just going to take out this explorer here. Maybe take out this explorer. Nah, I'll take out this one. And I'll take my animal element and my animal marker. Now, I put out a presence, and after I play my cards, I also have to destroy a presence. So I'm doing that kind of in the wrong order here. I should technically wait for fast phase, but y'all should get what I mean. Okay. So now all my lands are covered, so I could deal 1 damage in just about anywhere with my right innate. So let's see what happens. So right now, it should work in any land except for jungles, or at least make my innate do something. So, oh right, I also took G2, so I get to gain a minor power card. Let's see what I get. Some interesting choices. So, Bat Scout for raids by darkness works better with my animal innate. I can try going all in on animal, but my voracious growth and renewing boon, well, both remove blight. This one doesn't have either of my elements, so that's kind of rough. This one has water, and I can use it to try and deal with all of my jungles and wetlands a little bit better. But then again, I can always gather out blight, so it's not too important. Let's try going on the offense with Bat's Scout for raids by darkness. And okay. We skip Seek New Farmland, and we are going to explore the wetlands. Okay. Let's escalate here. And alright. So here with my animal innate, I'm going to do 1 damage here, and push this Dahan here. That way this dies on the Ravage. Okay. Let's go time passes. Let's look at my new minor power first. You know, what I'm actually supposed to do. Confounding Mists. I can actually use this to try and solve some real problems. Sadly, that kind of goes against my Bat Scout draft, but you know, that's not the end of the world. Yeah, let's go for Confounding Mists. Now, if it was multiplayer, I would more heavily consider Nature's Connection, but sadly, that's not too useful right now. So, I'm thinking I'm just gonna take like 3 blight this turn and just go blighted, which is kind of rough, but sometimes it's what needs to happen. I could just play Draw to the Water's Edge. Stop one of these blights. Yeah, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Let's just destroy this presence. Don't want to move this blight. I think I don't want to. It's just kind of risky if this goes. And let's gather this town in. Right here. I'm going to get my water marker. Okay. And now let's see it. Event. Add a city to a coastal land with a city. Cool, cool. Push one of my presence from a land with Dahan. 2 damage in the land pushed 2. Add a disease to a coastal land with Dahan. Or the most buildings and 3 damage to Dahan there. So yep. This gets pushed and kills off this. So actually, instead of 3 blight, I'm only taking 1 blight this turn. Which is very generous. So blighting here, ravaging here. This does nothing. Then we are going to build in the wetlands, so this doesn't build again. And we explore coasts. So yeah, they've been really just hunting that down. Fortunately, I get to push out 2 explorers, so I will push out these explorers, 1 here and 1 here. Yeah. And that's all. Okay. I will be able to gather this blight out, so it's not that big deal if not that big a deal if this blights again. So, let's go ahead and look for another minor power card. All right, we got some really good hits here. Called Isolation, always a great card. Directly solves this land. I can just put everything in here, and sure, it's not pretty, but I think that's what I'm going for. And because of that, I do think I'm going to go for my Roiling Waters. Actually, I get to play 2 cards here, right? So what I could do is I could actually plan to go for my Animal Innate in the long term, but start off with Serene Waters. So let's go for that. So to do that, I would have to play out this card and a water card. So let's play out this card here. And then commit to a water element, which will then give me level 1 of both of these innates and allow me to take Serene Waters. So I'm going to put a presence right here and then destroy it. Yep. I'm going to take another water element and I'm going to swap to teal. All right. So let's go ahead and start up my turn. I'm going to push out both of these. And during growth, I also gather this blight right here. I'm going to push this explorer here, downgrading it and removing it from the game. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and see the events. Far off wars touch the island. Alright. So we add a fear card to the top of the fear deck. In the land with the most buildings, that's this one, we either destroy half rounded up and add 2 blight without cascading, or destroy 1 town and do not gain fear. Let's just not die. And then gather 1 or 2 Dahan in lands with Dahan setup symbols. So I'm going to just shuffle. Sadly, there's no actual good target, so I'm going to have to bring this one in here. Sadly, not killing this explorer, but honestly, that's not really that big of a deal. It's just an explorer. We're going to ravage our wetlands. and then build our coasts and explore our sands with escalation. So I'm going to choose to escalate right here. Because now I can just generate 2 fear and push these into here and downgrade. Alright. Now with my water innate, I can push both of these into here, which will downgrade one of them. Oh wait, I can actually push a Dahan and Explorer, huh? That could be pretty exciting. But regardless. And then 1 fear, 1 damage, and push a Dahan. So let's just do 1 damage here. Actually, yeah, let's just kill off this and hope that we don't get plus damage here. I'm just hoping to soften up my problems a little bit going into the mid-game. And okay. Here, I'm kind of tempted to try to go for like a major to deal with this. Because like right now, I only have 2 problem lands, like this and this, right? So a major should be able to theoretically let me deal with it. So let's go for a major power here. Alright. These are some interesting cards. So instruments is always good, but here my problem lands aren't even adjacent, so I can't even use them against each other. Weave Together can let me remove 2 invaders, but that doesn't seem that insane either. Angry Bears is perfectly on element if I choose to go all in on animal, and it's kind of funny. It would have made more sense if I went for the animal special rule, but I suppose none of the others, except for like instruments, is that exciting. Instruments is kind of possible to threshold, but really difficult because I basically have to play all of these cards together. And it doesn't even like actually solve much of anything. So I think I'm gonna take the funny Angry Bears and just see how that goes. And I think I'm gonna commit to trying to get my Animal Innate online. Alright, I'm also gonna gather in this Blight, get a nice stack going. Let's go for bottom track. Play out these cards and take an animal element, which will then let me get an animal healing marker. I wonder, do I do that? Or do I grow like this and then do a bit less? I guess I don't need to play Confounding Mists this turn. No reason to. So I can actually do that. Get 3 energy effectively. And now the question is, do I go for this innate or go for the second one? I think I go for both innates. It just seems much more sensible into Prussia to have more small actions. I'm going to put a presence out here and destroy this presence. And, yep, that's my entire phase. So, rising interest in the island. Okay, I could forget Call to Isolation, but that just seems like it'd be really sad to do that. I might just pay a bunch of energy here. Ignore the Curiosity just feels kind of foolish. Like, it's going to give me that much less time to actually solve my problems. Maybe I just forget Call to Isolation here, as good as it is. Yeah, because it's not really doing much for me right this second. I could use it to gather, like, 2 Dahan into here and then, like, push out the towns, which should downgrade a bunch, which is super nice, but I think the energy and everything else is just more important. So we get to return this fear card. We add a beast to a land without blight, and then 1 fear if invaders are present. And we add a wild to a land with Dahan. So let's just add it right there. Okay. Fear card, remove an explorer from land with Dahan. Sure, doesn't really do anything. Ravage our coasts, so we're going blighted now. Unnatural proliferation. Super cool. So here, I get to do everything I would want. Put a presence out to a land where I have presence. Add a Dahan to a land with Dahan. So let's put that Dahan right here next to our big problems. And add 2 cities to the land with the fewest buildings. So 2 cities right here. Okay. And let's build in our sands, so they fail to build, and explore our mountains and jungles. Alright. Let's see what we can do. So first of all, I'm going to generate 1 fear and gather 2 Dahan right here, which will downgrade this city to a town. I'm going to generate 1 fear. I'm going to do 1 damage and push a Dahan here. Downgrade this and kill this. Alright. And then I can do 1 damage and push a Dahan. So I'm just going to kill off this explorer here and push this Dahan right here. Sadly, doesn't get the downgrade because it has to be one of my lands. But I will be putting a presence here as well, so I can start chipping them down. And also add a beast and a disease, which I'm going to do right here. Okay. So here I want to get another minor power, and I want to try to see what I can do with Water Taste of Ruin. So get a minor power. This is my only animal card. So if I reclaim this, it's like my fire animal going out. If I reclaim this, I think that makes more sense. So I kind of have everything covered. So let's go for the cheap gnawing root biters. Alright, let's swap to purple. So I'm going to get the gnawing root biters. I'm going to grow bottom path so I get another reclaim. And put my presence right here. And pay up. Alright. So I want my animal element now. And that gets me everything except for this innate right here. That is beautiful. So, let's go ahead and use my max left innate. So I'm going to target this land. Gather a beast. There's no beast to gather. 2 fear if invaders are present. 1 explorer in town do damage to other invaders, so we'll kill off a city. For each beast, push 1 explorer and 1 town / Dahan. So pushing an explorer and a town, downgrading it entirely. Beautiful. Now let's see the event. Each city does +2 damage. Oh wait, no, blighted. Add a blight to a land with at least 2 blight, but do not cascade. Alright. 1 fear per land where Dahan outnumber buildings and there's invaders. So that's 1 fear from here. Okay. Choose a land with stuff, downgrade a town, or skip the next build there. Let's just skip the build here. 1 fear per land with both invaders and Dahan. Lands with Dahan have defend 3 and do -6 damage to Dahan. That's 1, 2, 3 fear. Perfect. Oh, 1 fear per board. Shloop. Never mind. Okay. Ravage, build, and explore jungles and sands. Alright. So let's use Angry Bears here to do 2 fear, 2 damage. If there are no beasts present, add a beast. Otherwise, +2 damage. Perfect. And push up to 1 beast. Alright. Let's push it right here. Then 1 fear and destroy and explore an adjacent land with beasts. Great. Or a town. Let's add a beast and disease somewhere. Let's go here. Let's push up to 2 towns. I'm going to push 2 towns here. Let's push 1, actually. Then downgrade it. And 2 damage, and push a beast and add a push a Dahan and add a beast. So let's just do that here. 2 damage, add a beast, push a Dahan into here, downgrading this to this. Perfect. Let's go time passes. I can get a minor power here and then get to 4 plays. Or I could reclaim. I think reclaiming is probably better. Yeah, let's reclaim, get my power card. Let's look for a new major. Just in case we get something good. Here, there's nothing way exciting, but I can use Pyroclastic to try and end a game. Or Blazing Renewal, even. Can't Threshold Blazing, but I can use it to, I think, almost wipe out every building here. So I think that actually ends the game. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's forget Angry Bears. Just play out some cards. Okay. So I'm going to add 2 of my presence here and do 2 damage to all buildings. And then I will use Boon of Corrupted Blood and finish it out. Alright. Great. So that was Wounded Waters Bleeding against Prussia level 6. I hope you had fun watching. It was definitely an intense match, but we managed to pull through. Alright, I'm hoping to see you all in the next video. See ya.